So we're talking about the value of virtual reality, and what is completely apparent is that you can absolutely do almost everything in virtual reality that you can do in real once the physics is designed properly in the program. And so what's really happened here with the NautiCAD Marine Verse virtual reality program is we've spent countless hours making sure the physics on the boat is exactly right. And I mean, look, we can just, we can let the sails out, we can do that, we can steer the boat. So what's super cool is we can also do other things which you cannot do on the water. I mean, take a look at this. This is 12 o'clock. This is where the wind is always coming from. 11, 10, 9. So we can always relate to the student what heading you can be on and in relation to the wind and how to set the sails. So the research is out on virtual reality in any practical training environment, and especially in sailing. Look, you learn faster, you retain more information, and so look, if you tell you what, let's get these are some of the ways that you learn faster, right? So this has got all of the parts of the boat, and so we're just gonna we can send them away once we've learned all those. So we'll just send all this stuff away. You can't do that on a real boat. And here's the wind coming right here, and we can also see it up there is the wind vane. We can turn the boat exactly, the physics is exactly the same. I mean, to the point, if you're an advanced sailor, I mean, watch this. All right, now I'm just going to let the sail out. That moves the center of pressure forward, and the boat, without turning the wheel, the boat moves downwind because the center of pressure is forward. If you're advanced, you'll understand that. If you're not, you'll learn that in virtual reality. So the physics is amazing. What it really comes down to is, and what I talked about just then was accelerated learning. So you can learn in this environment that we call self-mastery. And this whole thing over here is designed to give you all the exercises that you need to do to get through to a point where you can turn the boat, you can set the sails, know how to set the sails depending on where the boat is going. You can tack the boat, and by the time you get through the self-mastery in about 2 hours, you'll know pretty much exactly what to be doing and how to set the sails, how to steer the boat, how to hold a straight course. So look, by the time you get on the real water with your instructor, you know what's going on. So this will take about 2 hours of self-mastery. That's 2 hours. That's going to take about 6 hours on the water with an instructor just to learn what you can accomplish in 2 hours at home without employing the instructor. What the instructor is really good at later, once you get on the water, because there's no point in you just learning the concepts. Once you get on the water, you're there to dial in muscle memory, to feel the wheel and feel the real wind on your face and do the real things, but you're already understanding exactly what is going on. So accelerated learning comes into play in two ways. One, it's your time, you're going to learn faster. Two, it's less expensive because you're learning in here in an accelerated learning environment. And we also have an environment where the instructor, the real instructor, can get on the boat with you. The instructor can stand over here, he can guide you through exactly sail trim, exactly steering, exactly setting the sails, headings. This is the no-go zone over here. This is where you can't steer directly into the wind. And so the instructor can guide you through that in about a 40-minute session, so that once you get on the real water, you're working on advanced training systems, feeling all the tacking, starting to learn about operations of the boat and things like not jamming your fingers in the winches and stuff like that. That's super important to be learning that in a real environment. So accelerated learning, and what it comes down to Also is people complain about, well, I don't know who would complain about it, but the cost of the headset. Right. So MetaQuest 3 is about $500. It's $499. Compare that cost to your time and what you would pay somebody just to do basic training. What's the point? Why don't you get the basic training out of the way in virtual reality? Save all that time. You have the device forever. And then you can start doing more advanced things. And, hey, look, push the device off onto your family. There's tons of games. And this is not an advertisement for MetaQuest, but there's so many games in there that your family can play. And maybe you can get them out sailing anyway, because we have little catamaran racing boats, we have dinghy racing boats, we have a wasp racing in virtual reality. It's such fun. There's gaming that we have in here, even for adults. We have a race course set up. It's set up over about here somewhere. And you can race against real other people. You can race against people in your yacht club. Cold outside, snowing, you can be in Sydney Harbour or wherever, someplace in the world, just doing a race on a Wednesday night or whenever you feel like it. So this is a fun device. This is a learning device. This is a money-saving device. And then even come down to docking, right? So let's jump into a docking environment. So docking is one of those things that everybody is scared of, and you should be, because here's what happens is that you don't dock the boat enough to be an expert at it. Somebody said to me, hey, how am I expected to dock the boat perfectly if I go to the Mediterranean or the Caribbean once a year? And that's absolutely true. You've got to dial in this muscle memory of what to do. You can't be sitting there figuring it out. Which way do I turn the rudder to make the stern go to the port? And so that kind of stuff is super important. One gel coat scratch on your boat is going to cost you $500. That's a lot more than the MetaQuest device just in itself. So MetaQuest, it's a money-saving device. It's a learning device, accelerated time learning device. Get a MetaQuest, get into virtual reality, start doing it, start doing some docking, and just practice docking, backing up to the slip. Going in sideways, setting the wind in lots of different directions, setting a high wind docking scenario, and so that you can figure out exactly what to do with the boat when you've got high wind from a stern or high wind from the port or starboard trying to get into a slip or get out of a slip. These are all really important things that you need to do to stay on top of your game. And besides that, everybody that's doing it is absolutely having fun. So accelerate your learning with virtual reality and stay on top of your game. And that's the biggest point, is once you have learned, let's stay on top of your game so that you continue to be competent at everything with sailing. Ciao for now.